Hello! In this video, you'll learn how to connect valves to tubing and assemble the breadboard for LabSmith's Microfluidic Education Kit. First, we will install the valve tubing. Cut 2 pieces of tubing, each 4.5 centimeters in length, with sharp scissors or a razor blade. This will be referred to as short tubing. With the one-piece fitting, connect a piece of short tubing to the center port of the valve. Turn the fitting until it is hand tight. Then, gently tug on the tubing to ensure it is secure. If it comes loose, use the included 1/8 inch hex wrench to tighten the fitting a quarter turn. Repeat this for both valves. Next, cut 2 pieces of medium tubing, each 5.5 centimeters in length. With the one-piece fitting, connect a piece of medium tubing to valve port B. Repeat this for both valves, and ensure that the tubing connections are secure. Then, cut 2 pieces of long tubing, each 10 centimeters in length. Secure a piece to the third port A, on the valve with a one-piece fitting. Repeat this for both valves. When finished, you should have 2 identical valve assemblies. Next, we will install the intake reservoirs. Insert a plug into each of the side ports of both 1 ml reservoirs, leaving the center port open. Connect the tubing from valve port B to the open reservoir port using a one-piece fitting. Repeat this for both valves. Next, we will install the syringe pumps. Connect the tubing from the center valve port to the syringe pump with a one-piece fitting. Repeat this for both valve assemblies. The next step is to assemble the waste reservoir. Insert a plug into each of the side ports of the 5 ml reservoir, leaving the center port open. Cut a piece of medium tubing that is 5.5 centimeters long. Connect the tubing to the open center port on the 5 ml reservoir using a one-piece fitting. Next, we are going to secure both assemblies to the breadboard. Stick the included rubber feet at each of the 4 corners on the bottom of the breadboard. Plug a syringe pump into a connector on the side of the breadboard. Notice there is a slot on the bottom of the syringe pump that the connector fits into. Connect both the valve and the 1 ml reservoir to the breadboard with 2 screws each. Repeat these steps for the second valve syringe reservoir assembly. Connect the 5 ml reservoir assembly to the board using 2 screws. The tubing connected to the center port of the 5 ml reservoir should face inwards on the breadboard. Next, we will assemble and connect the chip to the breadboard. Click the bottom and top pieces of the chip holder over the chip. Then, screw the chip holder to the breadboard. Insert the tubing from the 5 ml reservoir into the large end of a tube tuck connector. Then, place the narrow end of the tube tuck connector into one of the outlet ports on the chip near the waste reservoir. Plug the other outlet port with the included mini lure plug. Insert the tubing from each of the 2 valves into 2 tube tuck connectors. Then, place the narrow end of the tube tuck connectors into the chip's remaining 2 intake ports. Finally, we will install the EIB200 controller and the 4VM02 valve manifold. Connect the EIB200 and the 4VM02 on the left side of the breadboard. Then, use 2 ribbon cables to connect the 4VM02 to the 2 valves. Refer to the labels on the 4VM02 and the valves for the correct orientation of the cable. Both ends must be inserted correctly for the valve to function. The breadboard assembly is now complete.